In this second episode of our drowning prevention series, we're going to speak with Carrie Russell from Russell Aquatics in Markham, Ontario. Carrie's going to bring us her message on drowning prevention, give us a little glimpse into what she does, and give us a little insight into the school itself. We welcome Carrie. Hello again, Carrie. So I'm going to put that all out there. We just went through half this interview, realized it wasn't recording properly. So this is take two. Here we go. Welcome, Carrie.
Thank you. Good morning.
So we're going to now go through a little bit of a tour after, and we'll get insight into your school. Just to come back to the questions we were talking about. So your take on, whether or not as a culture we've taken drowning prevention for granted because of folks like you who get that message out every day, and you do such a good job of it. It's not prioritized by people that are making key decisions now during a pandemic in terms of what should be deemed an essential service. We know that drownings are up significantly in 2020. We expect to see that trend, hopefully, well, not hopefully, we expect to see the trend increase in 2021. We hope it doesn't, but that said, can you give me your take on that?
Yeah. 100%. It's not being prioritized. It's not being seen as essential. And it really should be when drowning is the leading cause of accidental injury-related death for children under the age of 5 years. Drownings happen in 30 seconds or less, and they happen silently. So to me, with the amount of backyard pools and access to water that we will have this summer, it's crucial that kids know how to swim, because we know that kids that participate in formal swimming lessons, you can reduce drowning up to 88%. So that's huge. And it is so important that we are getting our swimmers back into the water, learning how to swim so that we can be more water safe this summer while we are all having fun at the cottage and around the lakes and the pools, backyard pools.
Sounds good. So I want to dive into what are you doing with your messaging to your members, and how are you communicating those safe water behavior messages?
Yep. So we've definitely been on social media just talking about water safety, and that will ramp up now that we're entering the month of May and that people will have even more access to water. So just really ramping up those water safety messages. We're also offering water safe courses and courses for people with backyard pools, just to help them to understand the risks associated with the backyard pool and the water, and how they can further protect their families, but also the other neighborhood children. So really just educating the public through different courses and through social media. We also have our monthly newsletters where we do the same thing. We ramp this up every year in the spring, and it really continues into the fall. And yeah, we're just continually hitting people with water safe messages and really being realistic about the risk of drowning.
Absolutely. And to further emphasize your point, can you tell me a little bit about what you've experienced and what you saw in terms of regression and people leaving the pool and then coming back months later?
Yeah. So even just with the closure in 2020, where we were closed for 4 months, when those students came back, we saw a significant reduction in their abilities of how to swim. They had regressed a lot. And then even further, when we saw the students who hadn't come back until the fall of 2020, they had regressed so significantly. We were going back at least a level or two. So I can only imagine what it's like for those kids that thought that they would get to participate in April of 2021 in our spring sessions. We probably won't see those students until the summer of this year, or hopefully not, but maybe even the fall. So it's very scary when you think about the fact that children have been out of the water for over a year in lessons, and just the regression we saw within a few months. What's that going to look like after a year? And what's that going to mean for this summer with the amount of swimming that people participate in leisurely?
Yeah, fair enough. And further, to your point, like I have 3 girls. 2 of them had a very similar accident where they were walking along the pool deck, and with their teeny tiny little infant toddler feet, I guess preschooler feet, they stepped on a puddle, fell on their bum, and slid right into the pool. And one of them was as recent as 3-4 months ago. and she was in the middle of swimming lessons. And I can tell you from my experience that if she hadn't been in swimming lessons and we hadn't seen her, like, nobody heard her get in the pool. Nobody heard her fall in the pool, right? She slipped underwater, right? And the only reason why we saw it or heard it right away is because we heard her take a breath as she was kicking up on the surface.
Thank God.
The swimming lessons were the key factor in enabling her to stay safe. And this was an innocent accident. Like, it was not that anybody was being unsafe around the pool, as they stepped on a puddle of water, slipped, and then went into the pool.
And that's how fast drownings happen, right? And unfortunately, that's why they are the leading cause of accidental death for kids under the age of 5. It just happens so quickly. And I always tell the story of, we had a 12-year-old in a Bronze Star class, and she had just finished her Bronze Star course, which is the first course in becoming a lifeguard. And she was at a pool party that weekend. And a mom was swimming with her daughter. The daughter was in a life jacket. And I think sometimes parents are too dependent on life-saving devices like life jackets, puddle jumpers, water wings, all of these things. They think if they're in a life jacket, then they're safe. I don't have to pay as much attention, or I don't have to be in the water. And this child, this 3-year-old, ended up taking off their life jacket, taking it off, throwing it out of the pool. Mom was right there within arm's reach, but not paying attention. And the child started to drown. It was actually our 12-year-old Bronze Star student who saw it and saved the little girl. So it's really just being conscious. And the more you know about the dangers of water and water safety, the more you can prepare yourself when you're in and around the water.
Yes, because I suppose you could also say that it's never the accident that you're prepared for.
100%.
It's always the one that you don't see.
Yeah.
Right. So, being pre-equipped, having the knowledge, knowing what to do, knowing what precautions to take. And really, as much as it's a cliche in this scenario, education is your best weapon.
100%. And your children knowing how to swim is your number one protection. I have 3 children. My youngest is 18 months. I have a backyard pool. And even for us, our parent and taught classes have started and stopped so many times in the last 18 months. Luckily, I have been able to continue swimming with my daughter, but I have a lot of anxiety, even though she can swim just this summer and having a backyard pool, and I have the fences and the locks and everything. I will still be very conscious this summer with her because my other children are 4 and 5 and they're strong swimmers. I still worry about them, but especially the 18-month-old. It's just so serious, and water safety is so important to know. And having your kids know how to swim is crucial. Okay.
So what I'd like you to do is tell me, some key points that you would be communicating to your members in bullet form, if you will, about the things they need to be paying attention to this summer, this spring, summer, and fall.
So of course, number 1, swimming lessons. As soon as they open, enroll your children in swimming lessons. Even as an adult, if you don't know how to swim, we always talk about children, but even as adults, if you're not a strong swimmer, you don't know how to swim, you need to take swimming lessons. That is your number 1 defense. Second, you're always within arm's reach of your child and you're always watching them. If you can't 100% be watching them, then somebody else needs to be there. No alcohol. So you should not be drinking and swimming. You should not even be just socializing, drinking, and your children are swimming in the pool. You're always watching them. And if there's a pool party, you need to hire a lifeguard just for peace of mind. Even though you're going to have water watchers and you're going to be, consciously watching your children, there needs to be a lifeguard because you can never have too much protection.
Fair enough. So one of the things that came away from our drowning panel discussion last week was that idea of water watchers, right? Where, this is almost a community initiative where as a community, as a group of people, that you'll kind of look out for one another is really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
If you see somebody doing something that you think might be unsafe, you don't need to be judgmental about it. Just offer a friendly word saying, you know, like you might want to put a life jacket on, or you might want to stay a little bit closer, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So this idea of water watchers, is this something that you endorse? Do you encourage your members to take on those actions?
Yep, 100%. We even have water watcher cards.
Oh,
So
really cool.
Yeah, so we do backyard swimming lessons still, where we send our instructors to families' homes, and we will give them a package. And in that package includes a water watcher card so that they can designate somebody to be the water watcher, and then give them that card when they're having a pool party or just, you know, enjoying the pool themselves.
That's brilliant. You know, like it's definitely you walking the walk, Kerri, with your school, your messaging, so on and so forth. I mean, like you can hear the passion, but when you take passion and you link it with the actions necessary then to put that into play, I mean, like it becomes very effective. And I hear that and I see that. So clearly, you know, one of the reasons why you guys run such a great business in Markham. So I want to go back a little bit, you know, about the history of the school, where it came from, and then let's move on to a little bit of the tour, and then kind of finish this off. So
yeah.
tell me a little bit about where this all started, because this, like Russell Aquatics, started from you teaching swimming lessons out of your backyard, and I think even before that, you had a special interest. You really enjoyed it because you were, I believe, last time we spoke, adaptive aquatics. Was that correct?
I did do adaptive aquatics. So I was a competitive swimmer, and then I went into adaptive aquatics with the city of Markham. And then I worked there for about a year. And then I was 17, I started the swim school in my parents' backyard pool. And then when my sister was old enough, she got certified and joined me in the backyard pool. And both of us own Russell Aquatics now. So it's been 18 years. We went through university and decided when we had graduated that we wanted to continue expanding the business. So we just rented different pool spaces so we could do indoor lessons as well during the colder months. And then we always ran the backyard lessons. And then 3 years ago, we expanded and have our custom built facility in East Markham.
Brilliant. So we're going to take a tour of this facility momentarily, but tell me a little bit about the process of actually entering into your own facility. This is a big deal, right? You lease, but it's your facility, and this is your brainchild, your design, so on and so forth. So what are the steps required to enter into your own facility?
So Christy and I did a lot of research on what size of facility we wanted, what size of pool we wanted, what we wanted our facility to look like and feel like. And we always wanted to still maintain that family run business and that approach, and just really knowing our clientele and our team. So, you know, it's a lot entering into your own facility. But if you're prepared and you have a great team of people working with you, and architects and engineers, then it does come together beautifully. And we're really proud of the location that we did. There's some things we would do differently, it being our first facility, but to be honest, just very small things. So I recommend for anybody wanting to expand and kind of grow into this opportunity, you just have to do your research, and you have to visit other swim schools and get to know other swim school owners, and really immerse yourself in the industry so that you can learn exactly how you want yours to be.
Brilliant. So for your swim school, you guys have this, beautiful, all window natural light entrance to your facility. Tell us where you're located so we can get that message out to people when they're looking for you guys and they're looking for lessons in the Markham area.
Yeah, so we're at 66 Copper Creek Drive, so in Markham at the Boxgrove Plaza. So it's East Markham. And yeah, Russell Aquatics is here, 6,000 square foot unit in the Boxgrove Plaza in Markham.
With plenty of parking.
With plenty of parking.
Fair enough. Okay, shall we break away and take the tour? Would you like to do that?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So while we're waiting for Kerri to jump back on, Christy and Kerri run a fantastic business in Markham. If you're in the area, you definitely want to check it out. And for that matter, as Kerri said, wherever you are in the country, the important thing is to find somebody who provides swimming lessons to make sure that you guys are safe this summer. All right. Okay, back on tour. We switched to mobile phone. Take us
All right.
around, Kerri.
Perfect. So you'll see right behind me, I just walked into the facility, and one of the first things you see is our amazing retail with all of our Vorgy products. So this does excellent in our swim school. The goggles are so popular, and so are the caps. And so once you come in, then now you have our big viewing area. We have a kids play area at the far back wall there. Here is our front desk where our customers can check in, ask any questions, help them to register. We've got our nice little area where they can take off their shoes. And then we're going to enter the pool. So here's our pool. We've got only 2 lanes in right now, but you can fit a third. And then we have our intermediate and our beginner swimmers over here. And we have our classrooms at the back wall there where we do a lot of our first aid and leadership courses. And then we enter into our change room where we've got our showers. Some of them are closed off just due to COVID and being able to maintain physical distancing. We've got our baby change tables, our lockers. And then over here, we've got our private changing stalls, benches, same thing on the other side. So lots of space to change. And then got a couple washrooms down here. We have quotes all over our swim school just to motivate the kids. And then we're exiting.
That's brilliant. What a fantastic looking facility. Like, it looks so clean, modern, inviting, you know, and I've been there when you guys have been teaching lessons, and I know it's just a great environment to learn in. So, as we prepare for the spring, summer, and fall, I want to thank you for taking the time and allowing us to feature your school and the business and so on and so forth. Any final words? I mean, you've imparted a sense of urgency almost when it comes to water safety, but any final words that you would like to leave people with in terms of things to pay attention to this summer and so on and so forth?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, again, just making sure that your children are learning how to swim, that they're in a good swimming lesson and a good program, that remember that drowning happens in 30 seconds or less. It's literally the snap of a finger. So always within arm's reach, always focused on your children when they're swimming. And drowning is silent. So you can't just use your ears. Your eyes are your best form of defense when it comes to drowning. So it's super important that people are engaged and really paying attention when they're in and around the water.
Brilliant. So if you're in the Markham area, make sure you guys look up Russell Aquatics, Russell Swimming. You find them on Google, find them on Facebook, find them on Instagram. I think they can find you everywhere, right?
Yes. Facebook, Instagram, russellaquatics.com. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, I really appreciate your time, letting us in, showing us around, Kerri. Thanks so much, and you have a fantastic day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.